I'm not quite sure where this is going out live, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Something that I read today, heard about today, etc. And that is that apparently Hooters is closing. Look, they're shutting down locations after studies say that millennials are no longer into boobs. And that is baffling. Because, who doesn't like boobs? I need to talk to that guy or people and try to figure out why the hell they're no longer into boobs. I'm not even sure how to go about having this conversation, to be completely honest with you, because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm freaking baffled by this. It does not make any sense to me why people... First off, this entire social media campaign thing, issue, whatever you want to call it, that we are having, that we are going through, that we are doing, is so confusing. If you show some kind of rage or whatever, then people are automatically offended and want to shut you down and close you and things like that. I do not understand today's social media. I don't have a clue on how any of this works anymore. Not a clue. And it is so mind-bending to me that this has become an issue. Now, I know that this is an old article from 2017. Okay, I have gathered that. I totally understand that. But it goes on to say that they are blaming millennials for the demise of anything. And I have to say that I agree with that. Millennials have pretty much destroyed everything that we have that's nice. And says that over at Pornhub, millennials are less interested in breasts than their elders. What is going on with today's... This really isn't even about breast. This has nothing to do with breast in the grand scheme of the conversation. The grand scheme of the conversation is what the hell is going on with today's social media and millennials, where if something offends you, you take away the livelihood of everybody else. You don't like somebody, a political person of some kind, you have to go after everything that they get. So, I don't even know the words. I suck at politics. I don't do politics. I don't do any of this. I really don't. And it confuses the crap out of me that this is how we settle issues now. It is so baffling. And it goes on to say that Pornhub visitors between 18 and 24 are 19% less likely to search for breasts when compared to other age groups, but visitors aged 55 to 64 are 17% more likely to search. I don't get it. And again, I'm not even saying that it's a boob conversation, because it's not. It really has nothing to do with it. And the large majority of this, it has nothing to do with breasts. It has everything to do with, what do you consider a millennial? Now, I am going to search here real quick, because there's something I want to figure out, because I don't understand something, so I want to learn, okay? Let's see, what exactly is a millennial? Okay, what exactly is a millennial? Because I don't agree with it. Well, look at that. Denoting or relating to a period of 1,000 years. Denoting or relating to an anniversary of 1,000 years. A person reaching adulthood in the early 21st century. Okay. Millennials, also known as Gen Y, are the generational demographic cohort following Generation X. But you see, so much has changed in our understanding and our perception and our agreeing on terms of what is this and what is that. Because, I'm sorry, I don't consider myself a millennial. Let me see. 2001, I was 12. I was 12 going on 13. So, yeah, in the early 2000s, I reached adulthood, 18. But we have things so backwards and so twisted and misunderstood in this life that everything has just become a huge set of what is this or what could it be? Now, I'm looking at this other article. It says, not always easy to question or answer, but not insignificantly because older folks have loaded the term with so many negative stereotypes. Millennials are coddled, they're entitled, they're snowflakes, they're generation war propaganda. But I disagree with any of that. However, it also says in order to keep the millennial generation analytics meaningful and to begin looking at what might be a unique about the next cohort, in 1996 is the last birth year for millennials of our future work. So anyone born between 81 and 96, so ages 22 to 37 in 2018, which I fall into, would be considered a millennial, and anyone born from 97 onward would be part of the new generation. Why can't we put these numbers in a more logical thought? Am I the only one who doesn't seem to understand any of this? Because I don't get it. How is it that, I mean, because if you think about it, even some parents would fall into that. So maybe not just me, but if you had kids young, you're both millennials? Does that work right? Am I understanding that at all? You know, what the hell is, what is going on? What is going on with the world that this is our discussion now? That if you don't like something, you get to have a fit and take away all the stuff that people... I mean, look at this. In an interview with Mel Magazine, Pornhub Vice President Corey Price joked that could it be the millennials aren't into breasts because simply they like big butts and cannot lie? A joke. But it's not our job to speculate, but rather to provide compelling data to fans to digest and draw their own inference from. I don't understand this. I don't understand how this has become a conversation piece. And I want to continue to talk about it. I want to try to understand it. I think I'm far from understanding any of it. I really do. What is a millennial anymore? You know, not every millennial is some coddled, handed everything person. Not every millennial is bitter. Not every millennial has this lazy, just I want nothing to do with life kind of idea. You have people like me who you have a family, you have a job, and you work hard for everything you have. How did this become us? Because you're letting a few bad apples spoil the bunch, is what's going on, I think. I could be wrong. I could be right. I'm probably wrong. I'm used to that. But why is it that this is our idea of a new world? You know, our parents always meant to provide us with a better life than what they had. And I think that slowly what we are doing is destroying that. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, it's I don't know, man. I really don't understand. I don't know. And it continues to confuse the crap out of me. Because this is not what I wanted to grow up as. I wanted to grow up in a world where we fought for everything we wanted. And the people who didn't like it, it was tough shit. You know? And that's not where we're at anymore. I don't know, man. It's just, it's really, really, I don't know. I'm on the fence of what I want, I guess. I want to be that person that, I want to be that person that is known for fighting for what I think is right. I want to be that person that knows that, hey, this is what I want in life and this is how I want to live it. And I also want to be that person that says, hey, if things are not right, I'm going to make them right, but not taking away the livelihood of everybody else who has worked for what they have. You know, a lot of the issues that we're having as a society is that when somebody's not happy with something that you've done, they dig through 18 years of social media to try to make you look like an asshole and try to make you look like an idiot. And I think that it is another problem that we have in society. You know, I get it. We all make mistakes and we're all growing. But where do we draw the line of that was a past that I have to be reminded that I made? And a mistake that I have to be reminded that I made, and not allow that to make today's decision. You know, you're going to take a mistake that you made, which is totally respectable, say, hey, look, I made this mistake, but I need to live this mistake. I made this action, I completed this action, I need to live with these consequences. But not for it to be reminded or brought back up some 18, 19 years later to say, you know, this is what needs to happen and this is how it's going to happen and things like that, because that's not, you know, why be punished twice? We have laws against double jeopardy for that exact reason. You know, you can't be punished 18 years later for something that you did 18 years ago. But you know what? I don't know. Oh, look at that. How ironic. Sorry. I don't understand how this is the discussion that we have to have. That, you know, again, you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to grow from your mistakes. You're allowed to say, hey, these are the things that I did in my past that I'm not proud of, and I have to live with these consequences in that moment at that time. But then when it comes down to the end of the day, some 20, 25 years later, who is it? James Gunn, I think, the director of the Avengers, made a comment in 2010, 2012. Whatever his comment was that got such traction lately, that says, you know, he's such a terrible person and Disney severed their ties with him. And it baffles me that this is what we now have to go for and what we now have to live with because of his actions 10 years ago. It's going to destroy everything that he's worked for today. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. I definitely don't understand it. I really don't. And, you know, if you understand it or if you have something that you want to add to this conversation, I encourage you to do so, because I'd like to know your opinion on what you think. And maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe I truly am. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at this all wrong. Let me know what you think, because I want to know, at the end of the day, how we should treat a situation from so long ago of a mistake that you may have made. And maybe James Gunn was a poor example, okay? I can face that. But how are we supposed to face a today decision on something that was done or took place years ago? Because I don't, you know, I don't understand. I do understand that everything you say and do on the internet sticks around forever. But if his social media wasn't all that important when he was hired for this project, why is it so important now? Because somebody didn't like something he said or did present day and wanted to prove their case by going into his social media years ago and saying, look at this one post he made. Look at this one text he sent. This right here shows proof of my side of the story that whatever the case may be, he's not a good person. I don't know. That's my rant for the day. Thank you for joining me. See you all next time.